Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Well, breaking news. President Biden has pardoned Hunter Biden from his recent convictions. Now, this follows months, if not years, of Joe Biden saying he would not pardon his son Hunter from any criminal convictions that were brought against him. And Hunter Biden was convicted of a few crimes, involving taxes and owning a gun as a felon, and was scheduled for sentencing a few weeks from now. However, despite Biden saying that he would not pardon Hunter Biden, he ended up doing so. Pardon or commute. He ended up pardoning him in this case. Now, James Comer, on this article on AP, he was saying how Hunter Biden's crimes are just the tip of the iceberg. You know, there's been a House investigation into Hunter Biden and Joe Biden running for a couple years now, and you couldn't even find stuff to impeach Joe Biden on. Somebody who's been a political figure for 40 years, and he must have been a frickin' Boy Scout if you guys couldn't find something that you could impeach him for high crimes and misdemeanors. The other thing Joe Biden brought out was the only reason Hunter Biden was ever being chased down on these charges is because he was being used as a political cudgel against Joe Biden. And that is true starting with Donald Trump in 2019. They've been after this guy. He had addiction to crack cocaine, and his life went down into this is Hunter Biden. His life went into a downward spiral, and eventually he hit rock bottom and got himself cleaned up and has been trying to lead a better life. And Republicans just want to beat this guy into the ground. I mean, I get it, I suppose. If Don Jr. were after drug and tax charges, I'd want him to be held accountable too. So far, Don Jr. doesn't appear to have hit rock bottom, much less taken responsibility for his actions. And I think that's the key difference right there, is taking responsibility. Hunter Biden has done this. A lot of people on the right who are going after him have not. So let's look at the energy around Joe Biden pardoning Hunter Biden. Okay? This will be for entertainment purposes only, but let's look at the energy around Joe Biden pardoning his son Hunter. Foundation of the reading is the Eight of Pentacles. Is this power just being exercised as power? No, I don't know about that. I think this is Hunter Biden working on himself, working on his health and values. And he's been doing the work. If Hunter Biden were still an addict, this pardon would do no good, because Hunter Biden would be arrested within the next 6 months and brought up on new tax charges and new drug charges and things along those lines. This is also crossed. Look at all these health cards and money cards. You have the Eight of Coins, working on self, making oneself better, versus, you got the cocaine snowing. When he hit rock bottom, he is a different person now than he was when he hit rock bottom, when he was using the snowflakes. And underneath it all, it's the evaluation, the reaping what you sow, but also reestablishing your values here. Hunter Biden hit rock bottom. He's rebuilding his life and becoming a productive member of society. And this is what should be considered when you're sentencing somebody. As I recall, he was convicted on his charges, and folks in the jury were upset that they had to actually vote against him, because they felt like this was just overkill. That he had done these things. Yes, I think everybody in the jury agreed that he had done these things, which is why he was convicted. But all these felonies that they were bringing him up on, the folks in the jury are just like, oh my, it would be like giving somebody a felony for jaywalking. It's a little bit over the top, and having the full force of the FBI and the State Department coming in because you jaywalked. It's that kind of that vibe, that sentiment here. In the past, the Hangman. Hunter Biden was being thrown under the bus to get Joe Biden humiliated. Again, political cudgel. I'm sure the right-wing media will be all up in arms, grabbing their pearls tonight about Hunter Biden getting a pardon, and Joe Biden's a liar. And these are probably the same pearl-clutching people that can name multiple family members that are suffering from fentanyl addiction and such and have ruined their lives, and they would want the same thing for them. Current situation, the heartache, betrayal. From the Joe Biden point of view, they singled out his only living son with this. And is his son's behavior heartbreaking? Is drug addiction heartbreaking to deal with? It absolutely is. And this is that part where Joe Biden has a lot of empathy for his son. That doesn't mean he doesn't want to hold him to account, but at the same time, he has empathy for his son. He has empathy for others whose sons and daughters have addiction problems. He gets it. The political machine doesn't care about empathy. It's not expedient. Forgiveness and mercy is not celebrated on the right. Overarching energy is the strength card. Joe Biden used the strength of his office to right a wrong. Will that be the only wrong he rights? I hope he continues righting wrongs. But it's going to take some strength and courage to do this, especially when you're going against the very thing you were saying you would not do. My opinion on this, Hunter Biden appears to have overcome his addiction. He appears to take responsibility for his crimes that he committed while being an addict. I don't suspect he's going to be criming in the future. That I think he's moving away from that. I think Joe Biden is also correct in that his son was used as a political cudgel. The things that he did, the crimes he did, what he did after those crimes would not warrant the treatment that he got, being dragged through the mud, and then have Marjorie Taylor Greene posting up nudes in Congress. The lesson to be learned is the Hermit card. Joe Biden gave the system an opportunity to work. The system didn't work, so he used the power of the presidency to help that out. Remember that Trump did pardon Jared Kushner's father from his crimes, which I assure you were much worse than Hunter Biden's. Hunter Biden's crimes were crimes against himself. Charles Kushner's crimes were much larger in scale. Outcome is the Four of Coins. He's going to be attacked for this. The political right's going to attack him for this. He'll endure the attacks. If he really wanted to, he could just point out the hypocrisy of it. You know, do we just only pardon billionaires? Is that the deal? He'll justify it. He'll be attacked for justifying it. He's got 7 weeks left as the President of the United States. You know, I don't suspect he was selling pardons for $2 million a pop like Rudy Giuliani was. I don't see any pearl-clutching moments from the GOP with news about that breaking. You know, again, they're all worried about, oh, he got to $5 million from China, and they can't prove it, right? But Giuliani's charging $2 million a pop for pardons. So for 3 pardons, Giuliani has taken bribes for more than what Hunter Biden or Joe Biden's been accused of, with no evidence to support it. Hypocrisy. This is just hypocrisy. How will the right react to this? I mean, a 4-carder. This doesn't take much to figure out. James Comer again. So there's a whole lot more there. No, there isn't. If there was, you guys would have been bragging about it for the last 2 years. You didn't find squat because there's nothing to find. Victory. Let's see. How is the right going to... Yeah, it's going to be, oh, look at this. Here's Joe Biden. You know, the Biden crime family. They'll talk about the Biden crime family. We need to investigate this. Nobody's happy about this result. And this is just an abuse of power. He's going to talk about how Donald Trump would never do something like this because he's righteous and wealthy and he doesn't need to do stuff like this. And Joe Biden, he's just abusing the system and abusing law and order for his own personal benefit. I'm wondering if they'll mention the $5 million in China payments that don't exist. Or, talk about the stuff in Ukraine with Burisma and such. Those are otherwise really good cards, 6 of Wands, Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, they'll try and they're going to use that as a political talking point against Biden and the Democrats. Because of course they will. What's next for Hunter Biden? Now, one of the things on this one as I read it was that Hunter Biden, he had a pardon that goes from like 2014 through 2024. Pardon for felony gun and tax convictions. He was set to stand trial in September in California, who was accused of him of failing to pay at least $1.4 million in taxes. He agreed to plead guilty to a misdemeanor and felony charges in a surprise move before the jury was selected. The tax charges carry up to 17 years, gun charges up to 25 years, although he wouldn't have got that much because he's not a repeat offender. He was supposed to be sentenced this month on 2 federal cases, but they're going to ask for that to be dismissed because of this pardon. The pardon is sweeping pardon covers not those offenses, but also any offenses against the United States which he committed or may have committed or taken part of during the period from January 1st, 2014 through December 1st, 2024. Okay, so there you go. That ought to quash a number of investigations against him, political investigations that would be upcoming. In the end of the day, I think Mr. Biden would like to go on with his life and have his family go on with their lives without a bunch of Republicans hassling them. Let's look at the energy of what's coming next for Hunter Biden, or no, the energy around Hunter Biden with this. Foundation of the 7 of Cups. Integrity, illusions, and delusions. He's been handed a gift. What are you going to do with it? Go on. The challenge is, how do you live happily ever after when every day you have to fight against your addiction and your vices? But that's what the fight's all about. You take it one day at a time, working on your health to live a better life. You just have to make good choices. In the past, you got the 7 of Coins, reevaluated his life, and pulled away from the culture that he was in. Current situation, his father appreciated the work that he put in and is giving him another chance to start clean. How will this pan out? That's entirely on Hunter Biden. You have to stay away from the drugs because drugs make you crazy. You have to stay away from the vices because the vices will lead you down the wrong path. Can you let the moon clear the sun so you can see a clear path forward? So you can avoid making foolish decisions. The lesson to be learned is the sun, the clear path forward. Lighting your path. The truth has been shown. You've owned your stuff. Now what are you going to do with it? Hunter Biden's going to retreat for a while. He's going to lay low, rethink his life, he's basically been given a new gift, a new start on life. And it's time for him to sort of sit back and think about what it is that he's going to do with this opportunity. So that is where we will leave this. Joe Biden, I get it. I've got family members who make poor decisions that if you were to pardon them for all their crimes, they haven't hit rock bottom yet. They would go out tomorrow and continue to make poor decisions because they haven't hit rock bottom, had to reevaluate their lives, and then start making changes to give themselves a better life. I think Hunter Biden's done the work. And Joe Biden's giving him a chance to start fresh. one of the perks of the job, if you will. But Joe Biden's endured enough. He can take a little bit of stress off his son that his son should have never had to endure, were it not for Donald Trump and the Republicans vilifying this guy. Leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you find it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.